getting messier as questions are being asked on Abdulrasheed Maina's recall into service and other issues attached to the pension scam allegations. Are the answers helping at all? And federal government flies home stranded Nigerians in Libya after a global outcry over reports of slave trade of migrants in the northern African country. What is the update on the situation? We'll find out in a bit. Hello and welcome everyone. Many thanks for joining in on Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Seun Okinbaloye in Lagos. Well, with the pension scam saga involving Abdulrasheed Maina, it is one day, one revelation. Maina never got salaries when he was relieved of his duties. Maina never returned answer to the FCC. Maina holds an American passport. Maina was reinstated, but not through the Office of the Head of Service. That's summarizing the answers from today's session at the public hearing at the National Assembly. Let's just take them one after the other. The House of Representatives had a committee investigating the magical reinstatement of Abdulrasheed Maina resumed hearing today. How the man got recalled into the civil service is still a puzzle. So the lawmakers are trying to unravel the mystery. It was a full house of top government officials who had allegedly had a role or two to play in the whole saga. Now, the question, who reinstated Mr. Maina? I must admit, I do not know. But those whose job it is to know were asked that question, and this is what they had to say.
Maina's issue relating to a request for reinstatement pursuant to a letter made available and submitted to the Office of the Attorney General for consideration was indeed a work in progress and was not consummated to the point of issuance of a final letter conveying directives of reinstatement of Maina.
No, Honorable Chairman, sir, I did not sign that letter. I did not endorse that letter. You may recall last week, I brought the original letter for citing. That letter was never given to Maina. It is still in my possession. But from what we gathered, what the Ministry of Interior did was that they just acted on an advance copy that was copied to them by the Federal Civil Service Commission for information purposes only.
To my understanding, there are two issues here. Reinstatement of Maina is different with Maina's reporting to Interior. Reinstatement of Maina could not have been done without the Office of the Head of Service endorsing the senior staff committee meeting outcome. And the reinstatement of Maina could only be done by the office that Constitution gave that power, that is Federal Civil Service Commission. They are mandated to recruit, to employ, promote and discipline.
Can you hear me?
Well, that is unresolved now. During last week's session with the committee, the lawyer to Mr. Maina said he got paid even while he was out of service, or when he was thought that he was out of service. Today, the Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun reacted to that.
Yes. Use two platforms to pay salaries: IPPIS and GIFMIS, the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System. And there is no trace of any payment made to Mr. Abdulrasheed Abdullahi Maina. For the avoidance of doubt, the agency which he was suspended from, CIPPO, has morphed into PATAD. All of PATAD's staff are now on IPPIs. Their biometric data has been captured. We do not have the biometric data of Mr. Maina, which corroborates the point made by the Accountant General that his salary was stopped in March 2013. That was the last payment we have to Mr. Maina, which was for the month of February, paid in arrears. Patad themselves have been on IPPI since 2014, so we have no record, we do not have his biometric data, and we are not making any payments to him.
Well done. He's not being paid. The former pensions boss is a fugitive, so questions are being asked about his whereabouts and whether he was on the wanted watch list. Then the heads of security agencies involved said the man in question has more than a green passport.
On December 1st, 2015, we have discovered a paper from EFCC directing us to remove his name in the stop list, which we have stopped, we have removed. But when the case of Maina started, when directive was given by Mr. President that he should be looked for or investigation should be done, we blocked his name in our stop list. We blocked all his passport, that's Nigerian passport, which means he cannot reissue his passport any longer, and he cannot pass through our recognized border. I have to state that we have checked our e-pass. We have not seen movement of Maina through our airport since 2013 when he was refused. So the record available to us, Maina has not been traveling. If he has been traveling, he has not been passing through a port we can see him.
The disappearance and subsequent exit from the country by Maina was made possible and easy for him, as there was no request by any agency of government to the DSS for his apprehension. Consequently, his name was not placed in our service watch list. I would like to state here that the service has nothing to do with the reinstatement into the public service of the Federation of Maina, as well as his subsequent promotion.
Okay, then you want to ask a question. So all of the monies, you remember that Mr. Maina, in an exclusive videotape, told Channels Television that he was visited in Dubai by the Attorney General of the Federation, and he said he was responsible in the recovery of a lot of assets. So where are all these assets? The FCC has a reply to this. Listen.
Maina never handed over any asset. Any asset. All the assets we recover during the process of investigation, common knowledge now. It went through the court, and we have interim and final forfeiture in some cases, just like I stated. We have about 2 of them who are in the original investigation team in this room. So Maina never handed over anything to the EFCC.
It's a packed full program tonight, so let's get perspectives on this one. I have a lawyer and one of our regular analysts on the program, Mr. Daniel Bwala, who joins us now from London. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. So many issues, so many facts coming in, revelations here and there, confusing issues, conflicting statements and submissions. But what do you make of this old saga, Mr. Bwala?
Right. Thank you for having me. Well, this is gradually becoming a locus classicus of scandals in Nigeria. This is quite rocking everywhere. But you see, what transpired today at the House hearing and what transpired last week has not changed the gamut of the story, which is that the office of the Attorney General is culpable, is responsible, and cannot hide from this fact. Number one, none of these other agencies, department, or ministry heads have had the cause to travel to Dubai to meet with the fugitive. Number two, none of them initiated either a meeting, a correspondence, or a letter for the reinstatement of the fugitive, but it started from the office of the Attorney General. So whichever way you turn it, what has happened today to me has clearly exonerated the EFCC, has clearly exonerated the DSS, has clearly exonerated the customs, and the people that are left to answer questions are Ministry of Interior, Office of the Attorney General, and in part the head of service. But if you look at the entirety of the story, head of service cannot entirely be blamed. It is like something is cooked up and she is to be put in the center. The fact is clear. We may have House hearing, Senate hearing, we keep having committee meetings. one fact is clear: Section 155 of the Constitution establishes the office of the Attorney General. It is not a small office. And so he is not just a minister, but the chief law officer of the Federation. And he initiated that. It is quite shameful, to be honest. And for the president not to have a problem, I think it is high time for the Attorney General to accept the fact that he initiated the reinstatement. Right. But maybe he can put up a defense and say they are looking at plea bargain or something like that. All right.
Because of our time, quickly, because we have an issue of a very of human concern, of a grave one at that we need to tackle on the program tonight. But if you are in the position of the president tonight, what would you be doing? And would you say that the president should intervene at this moment when the National Assembly is already in this matter?
To be honest, on the part of the president, at this point, there is nothing he can do in order not to prejudice the outcome of the hearing, either by the House or the Senate. But what the president can do to express his displeasure will be to suspend 2 people in this administration. And I don't need to say it. The facts are clear in the public domain.
Mr. Daniel Bwala, always a pleasure talking to you.